Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Iron Bat Prime 2.0 back again with this new video, and this is a bit of another retro review that I want to do, but I am doing a retro review on the 2005 Fantastic Four movie because, for one, is the 20-year anniversary of the movie, and I just had to talk about it, but also, of course, the recent Fantastic Four movie hit the big screen about a month ago at the point in time you're videoing this. So, really wanted to get in the theme and I really wanted to just talk about this movie because I will admit, this is one of my childhood movies. This is a retro review that I want to do a movie on. And so, let's get down right to it. So, I'm going to be just giving off my thoughts, reviews, my opinions on this because again, it's a retro review. This is a movie that's been around for 20 years, and I just want to talk about it. I just want to get in the theme. So, what do I think about this movie? What do I think about Fantastic Four from 2005? I like the movie. I enjoy it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I know some people are just 50-50 on it. But to me, I will admit, this was like one of my childhood movies that I loved to enjoy as a kid. And I was like 6 when the movie came out. But yeah, this movie holds a near and dear place in my heart. I mean, it used to be my favorite when I was really young. But hey, again, this movie came out in 2005, and at the time, we had other movie-related things happening at that moment. I mean, Brandon Routh was gearing up to play Superman for Superman Returns. We had that god-awful Jennifer Garner's Elektra movie that I just wasn't a big fan of. And Christian Bale had his first Batman movie, of course. And it was also a year after Tobey Maguire wrapped up his second Spider-Man movie. And we even got the movie Sky High from Disney. And I'll admit, that last movie, I still like it and I still enjoy it. Maybe I might do a retro review on that as well. But besides that, I mean, again, this was the 2000s. Superhero movies were just trying to find their footing. It was, it was a very different time for those first, superhero movies, of course. But hey, this was this was back when also Fox had control over the Fantastic Four and just making this movie happen. So just to continue on with this movie and just on my thoughts on it, I want to talk about the cast before I just jump onto the story and everything else. So the main character is, of course, Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, played by, Ian Grufford. In my opinion, I actually like his take on Mr. Fantastic. I mean, he definitely did act the part and definitely looks the part. But I will admit that there were scenes where, the CGI was a bit off. It looked a bit video game-ish whenever he was using his stretching abilities. It was mostly when it came to showing his skin because, again, it just looked like you could tell it was CGI and it just looked very video game-ish, I will admit. But hey, again, this was the 2000s. They were working with what they got, and the CGI has its way of improving over time. But yeah, I mean, but I will admit, I liked his take on Mr. Fantastic. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was good. But of course, I will admit there are other actors who portrayed Mr. Fantastic in a brilliant way. But Grufford was actually really good, and I quite dig his role as the character. And of course, you have Jessica Alba, who played Sue Storm, aka Invisible Woman. She definitely did act the part as well. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, I know that there are others, but she was good as well. I mean, she pretty much had a role of just being the glue that sticks to the family and just keeping everyone together. She really wants to be normal and just try and live a normal life. And the chemistry was a bit tricky at first when it came to her relationship with Reed Richards. Hey, they wanted to establish as they already know each other. They've been friends, and they did have a relationship for a while ago. And then they want to just bring it back full circle. And I will admit, the relationship was a bit tricky to follow, but over time it kind of sort of grew on me. And of course, you have Michael Chiklis, who played Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. I'm surprised that the guy actually did his homework. Like, he knows the Fantastic Four very well, he knows the characters very well, and he actually just, that costume he wore, it was, I mean, this was like a very big kind of costume that they had to make. Because, I mean, it was rubberized, kind of, sort of. They just had to piece it together. Kind of like those very old fashioned 1990s Ninja Turtles costumes. But hey, this was also before CGI for like the Hulk or Thing. It could just be, well, just 100% CGI from head to toe. But I'm surprised that they nailed it. I mean, sure, I will admit, they did change things up of like, I do wish that he could have been like maybe a foot taller or bigger than everyone else. Kind of sort of like the Hulk, which has been a thing, well, since the comics. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I still like his take. I mean, and the fact that he was able to just walk around the whole movie set in like in a costume like that, baller move, baller move. I mean, again, just from head to toe of wearing a suit like that. But he was good. He was really good. And of course, I have to talk about Chris Evans, aka Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Keep in mind that this was Chris Evans at a younger age. Like, this was before he became Captain America. Actually, it was like half a decade before he became Captain America. But yeah, I still like his take as Human Torch slash Johnny Storm. I mean, he was a hothead. Sure, he was a bit on the older side, yes. But I do feel like you need an actual teenager or a youngster to play Johnny Storm. But hey, that's why they chose Chris Evans and he was offered the role. But he was good as Johnny Storm. I mean, I still love his take on the character, and the fire effects were good as well, I will admit. But he also does have a way of just being the show off and just trying to be the fan favorite. Heck, I will admit he is my favorite member of the team, so yeah, I mean, loved and enjoyed seeing Johnny Storm being played by Chris Evans in this movie. And now I have to talk about the villain, and that is Julian McCon, who played Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom. First off, I just want to say RIP to Julian, because he sadly passed away like last 4th of July, which does sadden my heart. And I will be honest and say this. I actually do like his take. I mean, sure, I will admit, well, he's not really comic accurate, Doctor Doom. Well, they did tone him down. They did make him like, well, I wouldn't say weak, but very different from like what he's like in the comics to, well, what he is in this version, this adaptation. Because in the comics, of course, he owns his own country, aka Latveria, and of course, he is also just crazy powerful, knows many forms of magic and sorcery. Yeah, the list goes on and on of just things about Doctor Doom, because he's like probably one of, if not the most iconic villain in all of Marvel. But in this version that we see in the movie, I will admit, he just felt very much more like a combination between Norman Osborn from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies and just Electro from, well, any adaptation of Spider-Man comics. That's just my opinion, but yeah. And they kind of sort of went the route of like the Ultimate Comics version of Doctor Doom, where he too was infected by the storm and he got powers just like the other members of the team. But yeah, I will admit, I liked his take, and Julian did a good job playing the character, embodying Doctor Doom. I will admit, not my I wouldn't say my favorite adaptation, but he was good. I will say that. But as for other things that I will talk about with this movie, story-wise, well, it does mostly focus on like 50% is like them learning about their powers, learning about their abilities and what they're capable of. But also there's I want to say maybe 30% of the movie, they just want to be back to normal and they just want to just live a normal life because they feel like these powers are like a curse from that cosmic storm. I mean, I will admit, story-wise, I mean, again, this was the 2000s. I mean, the superhero movies were just trying to find their footing. And story-wise, I mean, they just tried to learn to like just I get that they want to be a bit more different, but also follow a script like other superhero movies have had at that point in time. They pretty much just want to be back to normal. They fight. There's only a little bit of action here and there, but not a whole lot. But also, the main action happens near the end of the movie where they beat the bad guy. I mean, that story-wise, that's pretty much just how it all went. Which it may have like fast pacing, yes, but I mean, sometimes these movies just tend to just meet in the middle of like try and be like 2 hours long. No need to be like 2 hours 30 minutes or full 3 hours like some recent superhero movies have been. But yeah, that was kind of sort of just a story wise thing, yeah, which I don't really hate, but it's something that I learned to just like a bit here and there. But also the costumes were really good, and they're not 100% comic accurate. I mean, they're pretty much spandex from the top of their neck all the way down to their feet with little bits of leather. But I will admit, I do wish that they could put the four on the chest, kind of sort of like the comic books. I mean, it does feel like they kind of sort of went the same route as like the X-Men costumes from the X-Men movies at the time. In other words, felt a bit too embarrassed and didn't want to be like just overboard and too crazy colorful. But again, the 2000s of superhero movies, but the only one wearing spandex at the time was Spider-Man. So this is pretty much just a movie directed by, well, Tim Story. And this was just his version, his adaptation of what he wanted the Fantastic Four to be like. And again, I still really like it till this day. I mean, it's not a box office hit. I wouldn't say, oh my god, love it so much. I mean, I will admit, younger me, when I was like 10 years old, he was saying that stuff. But again, this movie was just a massive part of my childhood. I mean, it was also just very well. It might not have broken a few records. It might not have won an Oscar, but it was still a good movie. It was still great. There were more comics here and there for them to sell. They started having a massive toy line. They of course got a video game, and of course they got a sequel. Although that turned out okay, I guess. I mean, and there's a lot more to the sequel, but maybe I'll save that for another video. But like I said before, this movie is my childhood. This was like one of the reasons I got comic books and superheroes. So I still like it. I still enjoy it. I will admit there are other Fantastic Four movies that I love a lot more than this one, but I still like this one and enjoy it till this day. And there's just a lot more that I could talk about with this movie, but I'd be here all day talking about it. But yeah, that's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts. And again, I really want to just get this video out there and just talk about this movie. But thank you guys so much for watching, enjoying, and listening to my review and thoughts. And again, RIP to Julian. I mean, may you rest in peace. I hope your friends and family are just doing well. So, RIP. So, just to wrap things up, don't forget to subscribe to my channel by hitting subscribe right down there, along with hitting the bell so that way you guys are notified for my next video. Also, don't forget to comment below, hit the thumbs up. That would be very supportive of you guys doing that. But also, don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter. All my social media is just right here. I just might follow you guys right back at you. But until next time, this is Dr. Iron Bat Prime 2.0 out and about, and flame on.